Hi, this is Sean, and this channel's called Wolf Dog Moon. Now, in today's episode of Tea and Manga, we're going to review the samurai epic Vagabond by Takehiko Inoue. If you like this kind of content, smash that like button. Subscribe to our channel, ring the bell for notifications, comment down below, and share with your friends. Alright, let's get into this. Alright, Vagabond is an epic samurai quest style adventure. It's, like I said before, it's by Takehiko Inoue, and it's based on E.G. Yoshikawa's Musashi. Now, Musashi is a famous figure from, and they'll say it over here, I think. So, real life figure Miyamoto Musashi was the most celebrated samurai of all time, the quintessential warrior philosopher. Musashi authored a book of 5 rings. Now, I have this book somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so I'm gonna post it in the video somewhere, just so you know what that is all about. And basically that book is like a treatise on, like, similar to The Art of War by Sun Tzu, but it's specific to the fighting style that he employed, and it is also a type of military strategy, but it focuses on a 2-sword style, where you have like a regular size katana, and then you have a short version of a katana, and you employ those two weapons in a certain way based on the situation. And so that's what the Book of 5 Rings is about, but it's also a strategy on life. Now, this Miyamoto Musashi is a historic figure, and also he's mythic, and throughout the feudal era of Japan. And so this Vagabond kind of retells his story in a manga form when he was like a teenager. And so his given name was, like, his childhood name is Shinmen Takizo. And he's like referred to as this wild beast, and he's a super intense person. He's got the samurai heroic qualities of, and he has a tremendous amount of intestinal fortitude and strength and speed and also determination. He's no nonsense, and he also deals out a type of justice in a way. He's almost like an avenging angel type figure. And so in a little bit, I'll take you inside and show you the drawing style of this Takehiko Inoue. But right off the bat, you can see it here. He has these bold blacks and this very almost realistic style of drawing with, like an intensity of like cross hatching and stuff like that. And there's a lot of, intense action and violence in here. So what I would also equate this to is one of my all-time favorite genres of is the samurai warrior, and also in the movies. So I'll post them in this video as I'm discussing this. Some of my favorite movies of all time are the Akira Kurosawa movies, such as Yojimbo, Sanjiro, Seven Samurai, Hidden Fortress. I love those movies, and a lot of those were turned into westerns, such as The Magnificent Seven. That was the western version of the Seven Samurai. And then there was others, like I think A Fistful of Dollars was Yojimbo. So and a lot of those spaghetti western style films. Now, this one is very action-packed, and essentially the premise of this is, we have at the beginning, we have this Takizo and his friend what's his friend's name? I'm drawing a blank for a second here. Let me pause this so I can make sure I get this right. All right, so his friend's name is Matachi, and they are on the losing side of a war that they went to fight in, and this harkens back in that way to the movie Hidden Fortress, where at the beginning of the movie you have, I think one of the guys' names is Matachi or Masachi, so it's very similar in that way, and they're kind of between these warring factions, and it's the same with this. These two young men, they go off to fight in this war, and they end up on the losing side in this battle, and they come out of this horrific battle with their lives intact, and so they're very good friends, and they come from a small village, and so they're right from the get-go. You're going to follow them as they have to deal between these warring factions and also kind of reclaim their purpose and direction in life. They're kind of both their lives have been turned upside down and kind of shattered. Like one of them, Matachi, was he was supposed to be wedded to this girl in this small village, but when they went off to war, most likely they were never going to come back, and so there's this kind of conflict between them, Takizo and Matachi, moving on with their lives and finding direction, and it doesn't mean going back to the village. So that's where this starts out. They're both conflicted about ever returning from the village from whence they came. Like they very much want to find a different path, but you have there's this force that's drawing or trying to draw them back to their village of birth, or the village where they grew up. And so you have this intense struggle that both characters have, and where one of them, and I'm not going to spoil it, one of them is not wanted in the village that they came from, and the other one is. So there's this cool subtext to what's going on, and in addition to that, they're both fighting for their lives constantly and trying to figure out how to be a man in this world, this savage and brutal time period where the sort of like the infrastructure of the country has decayed and fallen into ruin, and so you have brigands and warlords, and you have these bandits and these disgusting, brutal warriors springing up and oppressing the villagers and the people who can't protect themselves. And in addition to that, then you have from these different feudal lords and factions that are warring, you have the soldiers hunting. They're hunting for Takizo and Matachi because they were fighting for the other side. They got caught up in the wrong side of the war. So right away you have this intense story brewing as these two young men try to figure out what they're supposed to become. So it's an epic samurai tale in that way. Now I'm going to just show you the back quickly. And so you have this realistic drawing style that plays out through this manga. And this is a 3-in-1 manga, so it's pretty chunky and thick because it collects 3-in-1. So I end up getting this off of Amazon, and in that way you get a good value when you get the 3-in-1. It just ends up being kind of like it's almost like a mini phone book. It's got some heft and weight to it, and it's very chunky in that way and solid. But you get a good value that way instead of buying them individually. Now let me show you some of the illustrations so we can get towards wrapping this up. But it's got a lot of cool styling and stuff. It starts off with some watercolor gouache paintings. I'll just show you quickly, and it shows what I said there. they're both after the battle of Sekigahara. It's, you know, they're most of pretty much the army's been killed, and then the remnants of it are being hunted down and killed mercilessly. And so these guys, they're very young, and so it starts off with this color, which is really cool, but then it goes to this bold black and line work style, where you have intense blacks and very realistic and kind of edgy artwork and stuff. So you do get some kind of adult content in here in terms of the violence aspect of it, but it's not too bad. If you've watched those other movies that I was mentioning earlier, you could, you know, no doubt handle this. But it's got awesome silhouettes, and both these guys are laying in the muck and the blood and stuff after this battle and wondering what their lives are gonna be now. And they've lost everything except each other, and they're both friends, like, and now they have to kind of piece together what they're gonna do and decide how they're gonna go forward, if they're gonna stay together or not. But you have these intense scenes and stuff, and battles and fighting. So if you like samurai action and stuff, this is awesome. So my final thoughts: this is a cool, awesome manga. It's edgy, it's intense, it's got awesome artwork, bold blacks, awesome line work, and an awesome story that really gets you immersed in this, and you can it really draws you in to this epic journey that these two characters go on. And particularly this one depicted on the front cover, Takizu, who eventually becomes the famous Miyamoto Musashi. And so you get to see the early journey that he took before he became this quintessential warrior philosopher. Before this, he's considered a beast, a savage. You know, he has this primal intensity in terms of how he fights, and he's like a no nonsense savage warrior. I would say akin to something like, if you ever seen Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Once, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger comes out and goes into, you know, he's released from his bondage and stuff. And this guy has that same type of intensity and no nonsense. Everything about this guy is no nonsense, and he doesn't suffer fools gladly, and he doesn't back down from any challenge. So definitely recommend this. It's intense. There is violence in here and intense action, but if you like samurai warriors, then you should check this one out. So we hope that this video finds you having an awesome day. And if you've read this Vagabond, comment down below. Let us know what you think. And also, we hope that this video has helped you in some way, and we hope that you have a blessed day and that your spirits remain high. Signing out.